Islam, Islam, Islam. So, welcome to Uniting the People, Season 3, Episode 5. Thank you for sticking it out with me, those of you who are sticking it out with me, which is awesome. I love you guys. Doing this for us. Everything is for us. Never forget that. There's no me without you. There's no you without me. So, we're one. Islam. Today is Saturn Day, the testing day. But here up in near Detroit, Michigan Republic territory, we experienced some really a whole lot of heat lately and some rain. So if you hear the air conditioning, please don't let it drift you off from what we're doing today. So today I've got a special treat. First and foremost, I'd like and will always give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe, and honors to his prophets, honor to Noble Drew Ali, honors to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey, honors to all of the true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and to everything that is for the uplifting of fallen humanity. So this is why we are here today. So I'm going to sing you a little song, real quick, real simple, real sweet, and I hope you like it. Okay. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh. Friday is the day in which the first man was formed in flesh. And it was on a Friday when he departed out of flesh. And this is why Friday is a holy day for Muslims all over the world. Friday is a holy day for Muslims all over the world. Ooh, ooh. Friday is a holy day for Muslims all over the world. So I used to sing that to myself sometimes. Today I'm going to start off reading from the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and MST of 8 degrees. Okay. Moorish Order of the Round Table. We are reading Moorish American history, heritage, and culture. These are the proficiency tests, information exercises, but of the Moorish Orders of the Round Table, civics, science, heritage class by Taj Tariq Bey. Moorish American Heritage Series, MAHS. So on that, I'm going to give a shout out and honors to Taj Tariq Bey. I give a shout out and honors to Brother QB and Nasir Il. I give a shout out and honors to the brothers who's standing behind Taj Tariq Bey, making sure this movement is moving. I give a shout out to the House of Reawakening Minds. I love you guys, all you sisters and brothers up in there. I've been watching y'all over the years. And I'm so grateful that you guys are continuing to do what you're doing. So let me do my part and at least read to the people. And that's what my show, Uniting the People, is about, reading what I have gotten to the people. Things that are in my hands, I'm reading it so that everyone can have and gain some understanding and we can actually get somewhere in life. So this is why I'm going to go over the synopsis. I think it's really important that we understand something that this synopsis is going to break down for us. And the synopsis is going to be on page 6. Alrighty. Get the bottom of that page. Alright, this is 6 and 7 right now. I'm going to keep it moving though, because I got something prepared. Oh, we're going to go over something great today. HJR192. Oh yeah, we're going to start. We're going to get in on that. Okay, but this synopsis is saying general information and a brief history about Moorish divine and national movement should be helpful. Objectively view the movement and its universal relationships to the national community. Proficiency tests and information exercises are contained in this booklet, which are prepared for those active and sincere Moorish Americans and scholars who have studied the works and teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. seeking to apply the same to effectuate positive change. The information shared and the test given may prove to be at least a stimulant for more grounded, contrite, and applicable thinking. Hopefully, this work will inspire one to advance in Genesis and more science. Those among us who have begun to shed the miscreant dogmatism of the Inquisitionists, and this process eventually takes its course, will come to recognize that Prophet Ali's instructions definitely leads to other veiled, enlightening, ancient, hidden knowledge and information. The new, yet old path of learning takes on a new life of its own. Positive thinking brings one back in the mind to many of the ancient sciences, principles, and cosmos sciences, cultures of our ancient Moabite, Moorish foremothers and forefathers, and so true redemption in spirit begins in the mind. Let me repeat that. True redemption in spirit begins in the mind. Page 7. The following dispensations are indispensable and vitally important statements made by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for all Moorish Americans concerning the Moorish divine and national movement of North America, etc. These declarations will assist one in keeping a level head when confronting contradictory or disparaging comments, which are sometimes made by disgruntled persons as disingenuous progress suppressors. Some people actually have the gall to get angry and envious when the youth or other newly conscious Moors come into the movement with their eyes already open. Obstructors of free thought and knowledge are well aware of the fact that an informed person is hard to enslave. An informed person is hard to enslave. Their traditional mystery systems, rooted in fear, guilt, and superstition, carries little weight with those who are enlightened. However, that unjustified negative position and attitude has been taken by various persons in the Moorish movement. Others, with questionable motives, choose to make biased assumptions without having studied ancient history, ancient culture, geography, etymology, and law, jurisprudence, etc. The following pronouncements made by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali shall be reminders to all Moorish Americans to be diligent and protective of the Moorish tradition of philology and progress. Philology, Philology, theology and progress. Synopsis, oral and written statements. This is where you can find some of these quotations and oral statements. And yeah, I got a copy of that too right here. But this is what we're going on. I don't know if y'all can read it like this. Let me see. Well, I hope you get it. If not, go to RV Bay Publications and get your own copy. I'm reading mine of y'all's. I'm trying to share because we all need to know this. Oral and written statements. This is no secret organization. Noble Drew Ali. Be careful, Moors. Many of your own people wearing turbans and fezzes will be trying to put you back in slavery. It happened to me. Go back to that state of mind of your ancient forefathers. What was they thinking about? Well, they were the lawgivers. The ancients or the lawgivers. So they was thinking about law and order and how to keep things in balance with nature and oneself and one's surroundings. Islam. I'm a universal prophet and my philosophy will be universal. So everybody benefits. National standards, national principles, everybody benefits because everyone should belong to a nation. I want my people to know the truth and the divine truth. I want my people to know the truth and the divine truth. Noble Drew Ali. The point being made is that the juncture of the synopsis is for one to be objective. Many thoughts, ideas, and misconceptions that one may have had before and during the first year or more of learning and involvement will quickly make those misconceptions become a waste and faded history. Upon entering studies and activities learned through the Moorish temples of science, activated minds will definitely change. Much of the naivety will be cast off for their dead weight that it is. Therefore, be prepared to grow out of and abandon many formerly cherished beliefs and naive misgivings. Active studies cause and bring about change, and all erudite scholars will be forced to make changes. Doing it right now. You may find that as your own misconceptions begin to dissolve, another social dynamic will almost always raise its ugly head. This sometimes causes distractions and dismay. I make reference to the scenarios wherein the untoward activities of some trusted persons holding positions of leadership and authority are found to be wanting. Some will also be willing participants in knowledge suppression. Knowledge commands merit from them. Illiteracy practices are contrary to Moorish cultures and by character reeks of Inquisition influences and codes nor ethics. Let me reread that one. Knowledge commands merit from them. Illiteracy practices are contrary to Moorish culture and by character reeks of Inquisition influences and codes nor ethics. Do you understand that? If your leaders are not trying to give you information, if they're trying to charge you for who and what you already are, something's wrong. Now, I understand a servant is worthy of his hire, and if you want literature, you have to pay for literature because the substance came from somewhere. I understand that. But as far as suppressing knowledge and not sharing knowledge, you must share for everybody to grow. The world only gets better when you share. Being selfish only harms us all. It does. Because you want somebody to give you some all day long. You want this, you want that. You want this and you want that. But what are you giving? So let's give some knowledge right now. Nevertheless, and to the benefit of the Moorish nation, active and devoted natural people are grasping the true law-abiding concepts about nationality and birthrights. Boom! Nationality, birthrights. You got them. Find out what it's all about. Let's get in here. And they are adopting to a higher consciousness on a massive scale. Ultimately, that toxic mental slavery and that foul usury and the feudal-oriented practices accompanying that mental servitude will be exposed by the truth for what they really are. The natural people will dedicatedly, and gravitate towards allodial. The natural people will dedicatedly gravitate toward allodial. The natural people, me and you, natural. 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 All natural. The natural people will gravitate toward allodial. What does allodial mean? Free and clear. Free and clear. Free of Inquisition tactics, for one. Thinking. They have allodial thinking. And to right law actions. That's understanding how to put the corporation in check with writs, affidavits, liens, torts, etc. Making sure that you uphold the Constitution so that justice can be served at all times for everyone. But everybody got to get on their ball. One person ain't doing the work. We all got to get in, get your feet wet. Come on on in the water. Yeah. Come on in the water. Learn that law. Come on in the water. Let's learn some law. Okay. I get excited about law. I do. Okay. They will also be acknowledging, proclaiming, and defending their inherited estate, their Moorish nationality, and their birthrights. Defending. You understand? Defend it. This is our national flag, and this is our seal. This ain't no Illuminati. This is ancient and divine. This here, so-called American land. This is the flag of our ancient forefathers and mothers. And this is our seal. It's ours. It's mine. My blood tied to it. My soul tied to it. My mind tied to it. Everything tied to it. You can't separate it. What you talking about? There ain't no doggone witchcraftery, hocus pocus, bull crap going on around here. No, none of that. So let's look up this here, what today's show is about. Now, we done did 16 minutes. I'm going to read through. We going to do this here. We are the aboriginal natural peoples of the land, the true Americans standing for the organic constitution for the United States Republic, exercising the limited authority on the land of Morocco via the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1786, 1836, still enforced, the Ordinance of 1787, and the Organic Constitution for the United States Republic, and all other associated treaties operating on the American land, the North Gate, Northwestern of Mexico, Northwest Africa, North America, Morocco, and supporting the jurisdiction of Article 3, Section 2, diversity of nationality, diversity of citizenship, proper venue, council of court. That one paragraph right there, you could take that there and look up everything I just said up in there and read it. Take the time out and read it. You want to be on Facebook, you want to be on Instagram, you want to be on these social sites. Well, take the time out. You can read somebody post. You can read this information. Okay, I'm going to show you this page. Oh, I'm going to get on you. And I'm going to get on myself too. Because I'm as me and you as me and we all the same. And we got to get it together. So this here is what I'm about to read through. And it was shared with me from the Marion tribe, which I am a member. No commercial paper to, pay my dues, but I love y'all. Okay. James Anthony Traffickett Jr. was born May 8, 1941 and served as former Democratic representative of the United States Congress from Ohio from 1985 to 2002. He represented the 17th Congressional District, which centered on the areas of his hometown, Youngstown, and included parts of 3 counties in northeast Ohio's Mahoning Valley. He was expelled from Congress after being convicted of taking bribes, filing false tax returns, racketeering, and forcing his aides to perform chores at his farm in Ohio and on his houseboat in Washington, District of Columbia. He was released from prison on September 2nd of 2009 after serving a 7-year sentence. Logically, we may not know all the secret meetings and details of or about the actual political timing and motives of actions concerning Mr. Traffickett's questionable conviction by the U.S. Congress in AD 2002, but if the criminal allegations against him were in fact established by due process to be considered as true, SIC, I would have expected him to have been made Speaker of the House rather than his being expelled from Congress. Clearly and lawfully, an execution in bankruptcy means to put to death in accordance with legally imposed sentence and to administer the applicable dissolution laws and processes, etc., to carry the same into effect. As a synonym, see kill, to put to an end, to ruin, to cause to stop, to turn off, to spoil the effect of, to terminate the existence of, and to destroy. In fact, by the exposure of various formerly undisclosed documents, many people believe that Mr. Trafficant was ultimately targeted, tried, and sentenced in 2002 AD for having made... Okay, I'm turning the page. Extraordinary speech in AD 1993 and delivering the same to Congress. Now, don't forget, AD means after domination. Don't forget it. AD, after domination. And delivering to the same to Congress. In that speech, Congressman James Trafficant alleged the following. Here we go. 1. Y'all getting that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna read it. We about to read this. It's right here. About to read it all, baby. Go 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 read it all, baby. Okay. All right. Number 1, the U.S. government is bankrupt. Remember, it's a private foreign entity and it's not a country. Okay, it's like not a country. Number 2, the federal government was dissolved by the Emergency Banking Act of AD 1933. Wait a minute, what year is this? Ain't it 2019? Something like that? That 1930, that long time ago. You waking up yet? You waking up? You waking up? Huh? You waking up yet? Okay, here we go. Number 3, the receivers of the U.S. bankruptcy were the private, foreign, for-profit, international bankers. Did they get bailed out? When they stealing your stuff? VIA, the alleged jurisdiction of their associated United Nations and their International Monetary Fund, IMF. Remember that anonymous face people? They was coming up. They was telling the truth too. They were telling on them bankers what they was doing. I was watching them videos too. Oh yeah, I was all in that. I was watching. Number 4, the colorable cabal created U.S. corporations fiat monetary system, VIA, the Federal Reserve, was and is unconstitutional, is unlawful, and is a fraud. 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 It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. As clearly stated for the record, James Trafficant made an extraordinary speech on the floor of the House of Representatives. He was lucky to have merely been jailed. He might have been shot, assassinated by some other veiled method, or subjected to some other separatist physical harm. Such acts are not so uncommon and are more often than not often perpetuated by the rogue government operatives and by their hired contractors and by other associate members of the cabal's de facto impersonating body politic. Let me say that again. They're often perpetuated by rogue government operatives, and by their hired contractors, and by other associate members of the cabal's de facto impersonating body politic. Impersonating who? Me. Ooh, me. Ooh, you can't impersonate me. I'm one of a kind, baby. But you're doing it anyway. Nevertheless, in AD 1993, when James Trafficant's speech was indeed remarkable, the underlying idea was that the U.S. government was bankrupt and in the process of reorganization seemed unremarkable or even false. Everyone or even a majority of the people who bothered to study the so-called patriot issues back then already knew the U.S. government was bankrupt. But most people, some in denial, naively assume that the disrupted, executed, and dysfunctional government will simply continue to function forever in that condition. It wasn't until AD 1997 that I, at least, began to suspect that James Traficant was right about damnable conclusions at which he arrived about the affairs of the state. Sometime after AD 1993, the U.S. government had apparently gone through a not openly published reorganization and, astonishingly, may have officially ceased to exist. What you say? Officially ceased to exist. Put that one on for size. I base my suspicions, supported primarily on the AD 1997 publication of the 7th edition of H.C. Black's Law Dictionary, which deleted 3 original legal definitions of United States, declared by the U.S. Supreme Court in the Hooven and Allison versus Evitt case that had clearly appeared in H.C. Black's 4th, 5th, and 6th editions, and added a completely new definition of the United States of America, which had not been defined in the 4th, 5th, and 6th editions of the Law Dictionary. This documented evidence was undeniable and was comparatively completely different from Hooven and Allison's versus Evitt case definitions. I can't prove it, but I believe that that's the reason the United States was missing from the 7th and the 8th editions of H.C. Black's Law Dictionary, is because the United States had, in fact, and for all legal intents and purposes, ceased to exist. Was this and other noted activities really expository evidence of a past or present coup or overthrow of the Republic? You bet your Annie's apples it was. The seemingly political impossible and taken place, the long respected and obviously compromised, mismanaged U.S. government had been executed in bankruptcy, exactly as Congressman James Traficant had predicted. I'm going to put this page up for y'all. Or, y'all gotta put that in. Or, yeah, I'm silly, can't help it. Kiss me, yeah. Or implied 4 years earlier in his speech to the United States Congress, upon these established facts, the Congress would notably be a defunct, unlawful, invalid, and perfidious body politic, fraudulently operating in and with an untenable and de facto posture. De facto means fake. De facto means fake. De facto means fake. You fake. Okay, you fake. Try to tell you it's fake. Fake. I don't like fake. Man, when fakes look like this, y'all old and wrinkly when I see that fake stuff. Because I'm for real. There are other reasons to suspect that the U.S. government entity may have ceased to exist. Note the following. About the same time H.C. Black's Law deleted the term United States, the apparent U.S. government corporation issued a new and improved currency that had a completely new design. The alleged purpose was for the new currency was to thwart counterfeiting. They keep saying that. Hey, y'all hood people, y'all know what's up. Y'all know they've been changing the currency. Now you know why they've been keep changing the currency. They kept going bankrupt. We never stood up. So if you're going to stand up for your block, stand up for your nation, nationalize, learn the law, stand up for something real, not something fake that you don't even or can't own as a black person. Can't no black person own nothing because they ain't nothing. They looked at in international law as being chattel property under the United States. What's that one right there? The black codes, the Christian black codes, 1787, Christian black codes. So no, nationalize, get back with your nation, and love yourself enough to at least study a little bit. It ain't about it ain't no hocus pocus to this. Yes, Jesus was real. Yes, Drew Ali was real. Yes, Muhammad is real. Yes, their teachings have very much implications to get stuff back on point to where it should be. But you gotta understand, people had their hands in the pudding. That's why I did the synopsis in the beginning, because somebody always trying to control somebody else. And the way I look at it, you ain't supposed to have control over nobody else. Period. Control yourself. Stay in your lane. Duty. You get what I'm saying? I know you understand. Do you? But don't pull somebody else down. Don't step on nobody's feet to get to where you trying to go. You don't do that. If you get to where you're going to pull people with you, come up together. Umbantu. Umbantu. There's no me without you. I am you and you are me. We go together. We roll out together. So let's roll. Number 2. The keen observer will notice that the federal court cases that had previously been styled as United States versus Smith were suddenly styled as United States of America versus Smith. The altered record, they altering records, seemingly had a new and improved plaintiff with a different name. Let me go back up. The alleged purpose of that new currency was to thwart counterfeiting. However, I know that at bottom, counterfeiting is a copyright violation. I speculated that the real reason for issuing a newly designed paper dollar in the 1990s may not have been to thwart counterfeiting, but rather to create a new bill. Now, my Instagram buddies, y'all know me, el.Rashida on Instagram. You saw last week when I looked up what a bill was on the etymology dictionary online. Now, bet. I'm about to get a screenshot put up on there this week, probably tomorrow, of what a bill is. I'm going to look it up on Black's Law. Take a picture of that and put that up there so we can compare and contrast and see what the heck has been going on so we can get some real truth up in here. And by its creation, craft a new copyright owned by whatever new entity that was created to replace or substitute the late and former, now executed United States government. If the old and defunct United States had owned the copyright to the Federal Reserve notes and had been executed in bankruptcy, the alleged new United States would legally need a new copyright, which would require a new and improved design, which was the new dollar bills, y'all. In the night, the new dollar bill. Every time they changed the currency, they went bankrupt again. They executed themselves. And then they want to keep, the national debt. No, that's your debt. Ain't my debt, it's your debt. Alright, back to number 2. The keen observer will notice that the federal court cases had previously been styled as United States versus Smith were suddenly styled as United States of America versus Smith. The altered record seemingly had new and improved plaintiff with a different name. More recently, if you visit manta.com, you will find a list of over 63 million private corporations. The data for these listings is provided by Dun & Bradstreet. If you enter terms like the White House, House of Representatives, Internal Revenue Service, and Barack H. Obama into the manta.com search engine, you will find those entities listed as private corporations. Ooh! Do your research, do your research, do your research. Ooh! Okay. We have found courts and state agencies also listed as private corporations. It's not a government. It's not a government. Do you understand? It's not a government, baby. It's not. It appears that the constitutional governments of the United States and of the several states of the Union may have been supplanted or replaced by a conglomerate of private corporations, and everybody wonder why. They know something in the water. Yeah, cause something in the water. They know something. They ain't got what it is. I'm giving it to you, cause it was given to me, so I'm gonna give it to you. See, if I receive, I give. This reciprocal helps and mutual obligations. That's what we're talking about here. They ain't doing what they supposed to do, so we gotta defend the Constitution and uphold it because they've been executed in bankruptcy. They're supposed to be up out of here in 1933. But we ain't wake up. Wake up! Be about your business. Your children need you. Your grandchildren need you. Wake up. Number 4. The term United States, obviously missing from H.C. Black's Law Dictionary 7th and 8th edition, has mysteriously returned in the dictionary text after being absent, to be included in H.C. Black's Law Dictionary 9th edition, and is currently defined as C. United States of America. In other words, today, or an ex post facto action, United States, and United States of America are deceptively being defined as synonymous. Court decision in the Hovind and Allison versus Evatt case stands as completely absurd. Article 1, number 5. I'm on number 5. Article 1, Section 10 of the American Constitution, the supreme law of the land, established that, turn the page, no state, this is my favorite one, shall enter into any treaty. Let me read. No state shall enter into any treaty, okay, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder. That's them tickets they be giving y'all. Ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. I am noble Rashida Al-Zaydi ill, and they couldn't grant me that title. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any impost or duties or on impost or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision of control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in a time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. Now, if you define all of the words in Article 1, Section 10, you will gain such an understanding of what's really going on in your front yard and in your backyard, on your side lot, up and down the street. You see these warships all up and down the street. I'm peaceful. I ain't bothering nobody. I stay to myself. I mind my business. Okay? I massage people. I'm trying to bring love to the world. I ain't trying to bring no hate. But you got these warships in a time of peace coming up and down Livernois and Davidson, Dexter, Woodward, whatever avenues is around your block, Baltimore, New York, Ohio, California. Come on. They all up and down these blocks. These are warships. The police cars are warships. You have to understand that. A bill is a slaying at your estate, at you. When you get that bill every 30 days, they're slaying at your estate. They're slaying at you. And you keep getting hit every month. Wake up, learn the law, get up out this bull crap. Come together, get some community gardens going. You know, because we got to have a way to sustain ourselves physically. We are spirit, we are eternal, but we got to sustain this physical flesh to keep this movement moving so we can be here for the next generation and the generation after that, because they need us to step up. Stop complaining. Do something. I ain't got no complaints. I'm doing something. This makes me happy. Knowing that I'm playing a role. I'm doing my part. You know, so get up and do yours too. And the more the merrier. Really. I don't care. Take you 5-10 minutes a day. Take some time out to study and learn something about law. Because that's what their liberty comes from. Law. Thy liberty is in law. The song America the Beautiful said it very plainly. Now I'm going to put the emphasis. Emphasis. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. Now, that's why somebody trying to get rid of, you can't get rid of the law of the land. What? It ain't going nowhere. I'm uphold it. Everybody I know is gonna uphold it. Because I don't know no fools. And if I do know some fools, they waking up too. If they're around me, they better wake up. Or I ain't gonna be around you. Upon documented facts and by applying logistical and intelligent analysis, I do not believe the Supreme Court ruling was absurd in the Hooven and Allison versus Evitt case. Again, I can't prove it, but I'm drawn to the fantastic informational and fact-supported conclusion that the United States government was executed in bankruptcy, and that this was at a time somewhere around AD of 1995 to 1996, just as Congressman James Traficant had predicted. Here, momentarily, as an interjection, we will dissect some vital parts of the text of Congressman James Traficant's speech addressing the House of Representatives for study, for actionable functionality, and for law analysis. Please do not hesitate to use a yellow highlighter or marker to note the primal and related sections of the speech, which will give credence to the nature of and to the use of and application of the word and position of revisioner in this particular instance. Revisioner, Reversioner, revisioner. Look that up. So it's about 43 minutes in. I'm gonna pause right here. So we just finished reading the emphasis. We just finished reading Article 1, Section 10. We're going to go back into this speech tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up. I'm going to wash. I'm going to pray. My yoga. And I'm going to get it on in with y'all. First thing in the morning. I ain't even going to eat. This going to be my breakfast. I'm eating law in the morning. All right. I love you guys. I hope I didn't make you go to sleep. I don't want nobody to go to sleep. And that's why I try to keep it like silly and exciting, because I don't want nobody to go to sleep. This is important. This is very, very important, peoples. I love you guys. Have a great night. And may Allah bless you. And I'll see you next time on episode 6 next time. This was episode 5. So next time we're going to do season 3, episode 6. And we're going to finish this out. Love you. Bye.